All right, this is week 6, Wednesday. We're going to be factoring trinomials with greatest common factors. So let's take a look at the first one. For number 1, do you notice that you cannot take a greatest common factor out for that one?
Yeah.
Because it's the one where you're going to have to determine is a greatest common factor or is it just direct factoring? 2, 5, and 2, there's nothing to take out, right? So then what you're going to do is you're just going to put them into 2 parentheses, right? So 2 times 2 is 4. Come on. It's being difficult. Okay. Great. Now my pen doesn't even work. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is pretty stupid. Why does it look like that? What the hell is wrong with this? All right. So then 2 times 2 is 4. Your middle number is 5, correct?
Yeah.
You think about all the factors. They're all positive, right? So it's just 4 and 1, correct? So then what you're going to do is you're going to do x plus 4, x plus 1. This is your temporary, right?
Yeah.
Because you multiply by 2 in the beginning, you now have to divide it by 2 on everything, right?
Yeah.
So 4 divided by 2 gives me an x plus 2, right? The second one, you bring that to the front, so it's a 2x plus 1. And this right here is your answer. But I want you to definitely check, make sure you FOIL it. And if you check x and 2x, 2x squared. X and 1 is 1x, 2 and x, 2x is 4x, 4x and 1x is 5x, 2 and 1 is 2. So it does check out. Does that make sense? Okay. So for number 3, 3, 5, and 2, no greatest common factor. 3 times 2 is going to give you a 6. Middle number is a 5, right? They're all positive, so you could do 2 and 3, 1 and 6. The only one that's going to work is that one right there. So your temporary answer is x plus 2, x plus 3. But then you have to divide it by what?
You have to divide it by 3.
Okay, that goes in the front. So your first answer is just going to be a 3x plus 2, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Second answer is x plus 1 because you divide it and it gives you 1, right? Yes. This is your answer right there. And then, of course, you want to FOIL it, okay, to make sure that's correct. This one's a little bit different. 2 times negative 5 is a negative 10. Do you see that? So now I have a negative number, right? So to have a negative number, it has to be a plus or a minus and a plus, right? Mm-hmm. Since this number is a positive, you're going to have a positive big number, right? So those are the things you're thinking about in your head. So I could do a negative 1 and 10. 10 is a bigger number, it's positive, right? Could do a negative 2 and 5. 5 is a bigger number and it's positive, right? Yeah. And that is it. The only one that works is this one right here, right? Correct? Mm-hmm. So then my temporary answer is x, or not x, y, minus 1, y plus 10. Then you want to divide it by 2. Bring that 2 to the front. You get a 2y minus 1. 10 divided by 2, y plus 5. That is your answer. Do you see that? Do you see that? It's the same thing that you have. I mean, it's the commutative property, right? Yeah. 2y minus 1 times y plus 5 is the same thing as y plus 5 times 2y minus 1. It's like a times b is the same thing as b times a, right? Yeah. 2 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, number 4, 3 times 2 is going to give me a 6. And then take a look, your middle number is a negative 7. Because that number is a negative, you know the bigger number has to be negative. Does that make sense? Yeah. This is a positive, correct?
Yeah.
So if it's positive, it has to be a negative times a negative because it's a positive, right? Mm-hmm. So it has to be negative 1, negative 6, negative 2, negative 3. The only one that adds up to negative 7 is that one right there. So your temporary answer is x minus 1, x minus 6, correct? Yeah. And then since we multiply by 3, you have to divide it by 3. So when I rewrite this, the first one is 3x minus 1. Second one is x minus 2. Or it's not x, it's g. Is that what you have?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, next one. So for this one here, you get a 2 times 5 is 30, negative 11, right? If it's a negative and this is a positive, both numbers have to be a negative because negative times a negative is a positive 30, right?
Yeah.
So negative 1, negative 30. I could do a negative 2, negative 15, negative 3, negative 10, negative 5, negative 6. Which one gives me a negative 11?
Oops. The one that gives me negative 11. Negative or negative 6 and negative 5.
Yeah, that's your temporary answer. So I have x minus 5, x minus 6, and then we're going to go ahead and divide it by 2, right? So I get 2x, that's k, 2k minus 5, right? And then k minus 3. These are two answers, right?
Okay.
Okay, how many are there? Oh my god, that's a lot. All right, so I'm going to work a little bit faster. Did you already do number 6? Did you already do it yourself?
Yes.
I'm going to do it the Asian way. So
That is
3p, 3p, number 6. Could do a negative 4, negative 2. That's a 6, or no, it's a positive 2. No, it will have to be a positive negative. That's a negative 6, 12. That will work. This is your answer. Is that what you have?
Yes.
Okay, cool. But do you see how I have to change the signs a little bit? Like I don't have to use 4 and 2. I could use 8 and 1, but then when I cross multiply, it's not going to work. Do you understand that? And how this works is this number times this number has to be the first number. Is that the first number?
Yes.
Yes. Up and down. 4 times negative 2 has to be the last number. Is that the last number? Then you crisscross multiply. 3p times negative 2 is a negative 6p. 3p times 4 is a positive 12p. That has to be the middle number. Is that the middle number?
Yes.
Yeah. So then it's just 3p plus 4, 3p minus 2. And remember for this one, you go across. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like the Asian way is faster because the American way, this way, it just takes so much time, you know?
Yes.
All right. All right. So I'm going to do 2m, 3m, 3 and 2, 9. Yeah, that'll work. This is your answer. Did you get that one for number 7?
No.
Did you not do it yet? Okay, well, catch up. I'm going to pause it. You catch up and then let me know. All right, for number 8, we're going to have a 3C and a 1C, or just a C, technically. And then maybe a 4 and a 4. Middle is a positive, so that has to be a negative. This is a positive. 12 minus 4 is not going to give me that, so maybe do an 8 and a 2. That'll work, but I have to switch the sign. That's a negative. That's, nope. That's a positive. That's a negative. Did you get 3C plus 8 and C minus 2? Like a little puzzle. And if you foil this, it will work.
Okay, for this sign, it's fine.
Yeah, make sure you foil because the sign does matter. Do you see the middle number? It's a positive 2, which means that the bigger number, when you cross multiply with the outer and inner, it has to be a positive. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The smaller number, like 6C, is negative. 8C is a bigger number that has to be positive because the middle number is positive. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. 2B, 2B, 3 and 3, both are positive. This is your answer, or you could put 2b plus 3 squared. Is that what you have? 2b plus 3 squared.
Oh, wait.
You could put 2b plus 3 times 2p plus 3, or it's 2b plus 3 squared, because there's 2 of them.
Okay.
Okay, this one is look for GFC first, okay? If it's saying that, look, 8, 2, 10. Notice how x squared x and there's no x, so you can't take out an x, correct? So your greatest common factor is going to be a 2. And then when you plug it back in, it's 4x squared minus x minus 5, right? So then what you're going to do is you're going to factor this part, but make sure you bring down the 2, okay? And with that part, I'm going to do it on the side. So I'm going to do a 2x, 2x. No, I don't want 2x. I want 4 and an x. Negative 5 and a positive 1. And this will work. So this will be 4x minus 5, x plus 1. Do you see that? Did you get that?
Yes.
Yes? Yes? Yes, okay. All right, let's take a look over here. Next one. 6, 9, and 27. We could take out a 3, right? So greatest common factor is a 3, and then you set it up. So it's a positive, negative. And when you plug the numbers back in, it's a 2a squared plus 3a minus 9, right? Then you're going to do 2 different parentheses. You want to work this on the side. So you get 2a and a, 3 and 3. And since the middle number is positive, that has to be a negative. This is going to be a positive, okay? Because when you cross multiply, 2a times 3 is a 6a. A times negative 3 is a negative 3a. The middle number does give you a 3a, which is what you have, right?
Yeah.
So inside, it's going to be 2a minus 3, a plus 3. So this is your answer right here.
Yes.
Good job. All right.
Not finished that.
Uh-oh. Okay, so catch up. Okay, so then when I look at this one, 64 and 8, I could probably take out a 4, right? Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. 64 is going to give you a 1 and a 5, x squared, and then it's going to give you x minus 2, right? And then put a 4 here. So then I'm going to go ahead and go, okay, 3x and 5x gives me 15x. I need a 1 there, so a 2 here and a 1 there, because that'll give me a 6 and a 5, which will give me a 1, right? Not going to get the sign right. The middle number is positive, so the bigger one has to be positive, the smaller one has to be negative. Do you see that? Because if I cross multiply them like this, do you see that? I'm going to get a 6x minus 5x, which is a 1x, which is what I want, right? So then my answer is 3x minus 1, because you're going to go across, right? And then 5x plus 2, because you're going across. So this right here is your answer that is in the box. And that's what you should have. Yes? Yes? So take a moment. Okay, if you do the 15 times the negative 2, right? You get a negative 30. Your middle number is 1x, correct? So I'm going to have to use 6 and a 5 with a negative and a positive, or a positive and a negative, right? To give me 1x, correct? So then my temporary one is x plus 6, x minus 5. Since I divided by 15, this is the one I don't like because it gets really kind of fucking complicated, right? I don't know. Like this becomes divided by 3, so it's a 2 and a 3, or no, 5, right? The 5 goes in the front, so you get a 5x plus 2. That's this part right there, the last part that I have, right? Correct? Then I have a negative 5 over 15, so if I divide it by 5, that's a negative 1 and a positive 3, correct? So it's a 3x minus 1. That's the first part I have.
Okay, that's great. That's so amazing.
All right, let's take a look at number 13. 16, 24, and 8. I think my greatest common factor might be an 8 minus plus. So 2x squared minus 3x plus 1, right? then you're going to go ahead and put it like this. So that when I do this, I have a 2x and an x and a 1 and a 1, right? Positive, negative in the middle. Both of these are negative. Do you see that? And it'll be a 2x minus 1, x minus 1. And if you FOIL it, it will be correct. Okay, so. All right. 20, 55, 30. I think it's going to be 5, right?
Yes.
Everything's positive, so that's good. 4x squared, 11x, 6, right? Put this into 2 parentheses. I'm going to have 2x and 2x, 3 and 3. That's not going to give me 11. So maybe 4 and 1x. And then maybe 2 and 3. That's 8 and, yeah, that'll work. Positive, positive. So it's 4x plus 3, x plus 2. Whatever you put in here, you need to FOIL it to make sure you get to the right answer, okay? So this is your answer right here. Do you have that? If you don't have it, write down the right answer and then practice it at home when you have the time, okay? So copy that part down. Do you like the cheese? Yeah, it's good, huh?
But England is a terrible place.
Really? I don't think so. I think.
Oh, it's not.
Hmm. Which one do you like better? Which one? This one or this one?
I like pepperoni. The uncured one.
The red one?
Yes.
Okay. It's not pepperoni, I don't think.
It says uncured pepperoni.
It's not pepperoni.
Uncured pepperoni.
No. So number 15. 10, 32, 24. I think 2 will be it. So then I have a negative and a positive. 5x squared minus 16x plus 12, right?
Yes.
Okay. 5 times 12 is 60. That's a freaking large number, right?
5 and 12.
Now, this is when like the Asian method is a little bit easier. So I have a 5, so I have 5 and an x, right? 12. So I could do a 6 and a 2. That's 10. This will actually work. 5x plus 6, x plus 2. That'll work. If you FOIL it, it'll give you a 10x plus 6x, which is a 16x. 5 times x is 5x squared. 6 times 2 is 12. And that's everything.
Hellhole.
No, it's not a hellhole just because you don't know what you're doing. Okay, well, practice this weekend. I already printed this out. Make sure you grab the extra copy.